Hey, so I've upgraded, by the way. I'm at a Walmart this time, huh? Huh? Yeah. See, I went from Dollar General to Walmart, and next time I might be at a Costco. Just kidding. We don't have Costco's where I'm at. We might have a Sam's Club. Who knows? We're growing up in the world, am I right? Anyway, so I have a few videos that I feel like my seat's rolled back. Anyway, I have a few video ideas that I have in my phone, just like saved as notes. And this video is not one of them. This isn't one of the ones that I like. None of my videos have like a script. If you cannot tell, none of them have a script, but they have at least the premise and days worth of thought put into it. This one, I kind of just was outside playing basketball. Well, actually, I mean, I've kind of been thinking about it probably since 4 o'clock. But I didn't really feel like the urge to make the video until just now. Well, just now being like 30 minutes ago. And the what I wanted to talk about was the idea of yo, this girl is yapping up a storm. Holy crap. How am I? I'm like 12 parking spots away from her, and I can hear her talking. Anyway, what even was I talking about? That threw me off so much. Oh, be creative, okay? Get off of YouTube. Well, you can finish watching this video if you want. Sorry, but be creative. Stop intaking information from other people as your source of where you get your ideas and or opinions from. Because okay, first I want to start with how I kind of came up with this idea. So, there's this guy at work that I work with who, I mean, he's cool, he's nice, but everything he does and everything that he kind of associates with is around some form of media that he is into. Like when he thinks of a joke, his joke is something that he pulled from a movie that he likes, right? Like if he likes I don't know, I don't really watch movies, but I do watch movies. I watch movies. I'm struggling to think of anything off the top of my head. Come on, I can do it. Okay, so let's say let's say he feels like a rock in his shoe, right? He'll go like, "There's a snake in my boot." I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's the point I'm trying to make here is that the idea is not coming from a valid, he's not actually thinking of the joke, right? He's thinking of a moment from a movie where somebody else thought of the joke. I guess there wasn't really a joke in the book, it kind of was. Anyway, the point is, without people that can think on their own and think of these creative ideas on their own, we have a bunch of people that are just copying off of each other, you know? So I think it's so important for people to try to come up with their own opinions and their own thoughts and become their own creative identity. Right? I never realized that, and not to sound like gloaty or anything, but I never realized that people are so dependent on each other for their sources of creativity, right? Like relying on movies and relying on other comedians when they tell jokes, or gaining, like, having their creative thoughts come from another person's creative thoughts that were created before theirs. Does that make sense? Like, okay, I guess, like, I don't know, maybe this is almost feeling like a waste of a video to make, but I guess no video is a waste for me, because I'm just, like, kind of spewing my internal thoughts. But you should be able to come up with your own individual ideas, right? I'm not crazy for thinking that, am I? Or, okay, maybe it's not that you need to come up with your own ideas, but you need to come up with your own reasons for why you have those ideas, right? Like, I'm not creative for saying that, Paul George is the greatest 6'8" or taller 3-point shooter. I'm not the only person that said that. But I've thought of my own reasons as to why that is. I'm not just like I'm not just copying other people's ideas, right? Well, let me use an easier example. Let's say you watch a YouTube video, or let's say I watched a YouTube video. Let's say I watched a YouTube video about, like, proving that the earth is not flat. And in the video, he brings up the test that those scientists did, where they shot light through these two different tubes, and you were supposed to be able to see the light because of the distance if the earth was flat. Like, if the earth has a curve, right, and this is the light, if this is the light and the earth has a curve, it's going to curve down. And where the other light is set, right here, you wouldn't be able to see it. But if the earth is flat and it's right here, you should theoretically be able to see the light on the other side. This wasn't the light. This was the camera. This is the light. Anyway, sorry. I'm like, I don't know. I'm very like scatterbrained right now. Anyway, when they did the test, you couldn't see the light. And they were like, oh. Anyway, but let's say that they bring up that argument in some way, and I go to you and I say, hey, the earth isn't flat, right? And I tell you verbatim the exact reasoning based off of that. Just because it's not incorrect does not mean that I am not, like, I'm not doing anything good for my mind just by, well, see, okay, I guess there's kind of like there's like a line somewhere, right? Because it's not a bad thing to learn information and to use that information, because you are enhancing your brain, you're becoming smarter, but it's not good for the sake of creativity, is what I'm getting at. It's okay to watch YouTube videos and to watch PBS and to find information all over the place. It's not like you have to come up with everything on your own, but what I'm saying is that you need to come up with some stuff on your own. You should not have everything be something like everything be your source of creativity, right? I feel like everybody should be able to come up with their own shtick, right? Like I don't know if this counts because I stopped doing it, but I used to try to like write lyrics for songs. I wouldn't actually sing or anything because I'm not, if you can't tell, I'm not like a great voice, but I would try to write lyrics for songs. Oh my gosh, she is just freaking yapping, dude. I'm sorry. I'm very upset for some reason about that. I have been trying. I've been trying to write a book for probably the past 2 years, and all of it is just stuff that is just flowing out of my brain. Like, it's stuff that I have dreamed or it's just something where I just like, kind of like this video, where it's just like, oh, I gotta do this. I need to do this, right? Where I'm not gaining the inspiration to do it from anything else. I'm simply coming to the, it's almost like a switch gets flipped, where it's just like time to make this thing that I just came up with in my head. Yeah. And you know, I don't know, maybe I'm spewing like nonsense. Maybe like you watch this, or like the smartest person in the world watches this, and I'm like, that's dumb. That's the most stupid take ever. There's no reason for, you can absolutely gain inspiration from everything. But I don't know. I just feel like if you are going to try to enhance your creative mind at all, then you should gain it from natural inspiration, not from other forms of inspiration, right? Like, I don't think you should gain your inspiration from a Bill Burr joke and use that Bill Burr joke as your joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should just be out and about in life, living life, and find inspiration for a joke. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm stupid, though. Maybe I'm a stupid little dumb idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about and is just making a video to make a video, you know? And I feel like creativity, okay, actually, no, maybe I'm not dumb, because creativity is like I was gonna say aspect, but that's not the word, is the cornerstone for our existence, right? I mean, literally the first, where is my Bible at? I had to stick a bunch of stuff in my car because it's the last week of school, so we're cleaning up the school and stuff. We had to put a bunch of stuff we were taking to the dump in the back of my car, so I had to clean it out. But anyway, literally the first, hold on, I'm getting there. Hold on. Sorry. Like I said, I'm kind of tweaking right now. I really don't know why. Also, actually, really quick before I go into this, did you know, this is just a side tangent, did you know that chud, okay, I thought the word chud meant somebody who's, like, lazy and fat. I didn't realize that chud meant, like, a right-winged, like, jerk. Like, I did not realize that was, like, what that term was about. I heavily misunderstood that. Anyway, because whenever I was, like, I was gonna title this video, "Don't Be a Chud." I was gonna title the video, "Don't Be a Chud." And then I looked up just to make sure that was what it meant, was to be somebody who's lazy and sits around all day and doesn't do anything. And I just like, I was completely wrong. Anyway, I'll get what I was gonna say. I'm literally going to read you one verse that basically proves my entire point, which is, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? Well, actually, no, I don't need to, because this should be obvious. As most of us know, we are created in God's image. In that verse, God created the heavens and the earth. We already know, based on that video of me yapping for an hour straight, we already know that the earth is very complex, right? And we have like certain descriptions of heaven, and from those descriptions of heaven, we know that heaven is complex, which means that it took a lot of creativity to come up with heaven and earth. And if we are created in God's image, we are created with the creativity that God has, right? Well, not the amount of creativity that God has, but the just the element of creativity. We have the element of creativity in us, obviously. That's why we have all these creative minds, all these people that can make all these things, and, you know, are just considered, you know, artists, right? But it's not just artists that have creativity. It's all of us. All of us have this, right? And yeah, I just, you know, that's why we find so much, even people, like I said, that take in their own, these people that, you know, take in all their creativity from other forms of media. The reason that they take it in is because they feel so much, you know, passion by it, I suppose. Like, you know, like, you know, we love music, and we love movies, and we love art and all that stuff. It's because it shows an immense sense of creativity, something that is in the very root of our being, right? Because God created us. God created the world we live in. God created all the nature around us, right? So there's just an immense energy of creativity all around us. And that's why I feel like we should try to like unlock that, if you will, by gaining our sense of creativity from the lives that we live, not by basically plagiarizing other people's creativity. I just kind of had that tangent because I felt kind of upset whenever that guy at work, well, what had happened actually was that he was messaging, what the anyway, I wish they would just go inside and shop. Like, maybe they're looking at me, because I'm sitting here going like at the camera the whole time. But I wish they would go in and shop so they'd shut up. Anyway, okay, so he had asked me, like, I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gonna use like intervals. Intervals, is that the word that I'm looking for? I'm gonna use integers as my examples. And he'd be like, have you seen movie X? I'd be like, no, I haven't seen that. And he'd be like, oh, I love that movie. I love to do impressions of this person's voice, and I love to just say their lines over and over again when I think of something that matches those lines. And then he'd be like, have you seen movie Y? I'd be like, no. He'd be like, oh, dude, I love to do the little dance that he does. I think it's so funny. Stuff like that. And it kind of lit a flame under me where I'm like, is all that you do, you know, found from something else that was made by a human? And that kind of like, just like, it kind of was like, whoa, I cannot believe that you think like that. That you think that you should get everything from something that is not organic. Like, he kind of forced himself to watch whatever movie that he got, or whatever movie he's referencing, right? He kind of put himself into the situation of that, where if you gain your inspiration from something that is organic, it just happens, and you just happen to be, you know, noticing it. Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of just spewing nonsense. Yeah, I just thought it was just a tangent I had to get out because it was just really bothering me. Yeah, L video, I guess. Even though none of this is bad, because it's all good for me. It's good for me to let these things out of my head. Anyway, bye.